Today, we're installing a new timing chain kit on a Nissan Altima 2.5L engine. The oil has been drained and the spark plugs have just been removed. Detach the oil filter, dipstick, and lower oil pan. We rotated the engine so it would be easier to follow the proper sequence when removing the oil pan bolts. Unfasten the 3 oil strainer bolts, starting with the middle, left, then right, and pull off the oil strainer. Take out the oil pressure control solenoid valve bolts and disconnect the valve. Remove all 19 upper oil pan bolts using the proper sequence. Carefully detach the upper oil pan without damaging the mating surface. Take out and discard the O-rings from the pan. We recommend using new seals with each job. Remove the intake valve timing control cover using the sequence shown. Set the cylinder at top dead center of the compression stroke by rotating the harmonic balancer clockwise and aligning the timing mark to the timing indicator on the front cover. Ignore the white mark on the balancer. Simultaneously, make sure that the camshaft sprocket marks line up with the marks on the timing chain. If your points are not aligned, rotate the harmonic balancer one more turn. Once everything is in proper position, take off the harmonic balancer. Remove all 18 front cover bolts in the correct sequence. Then pull the cover off and set it aside. Remove and discard any seals. It's now time to remove the timing chain components, starting with the primary tensioner. Be careful not to rotate the crankshaft or camshaft since it can damage the valve and piston. Remove the chain slack guide, the tension guide, and the oil pump drive spacer. Then pull off the chain. Remove the timing chain tensioner for the balancer unit. Unscrew the oil pump sprocket, then take off the balancer unit timing chain and crankshaft sprocket. The engine is now ready for the new chains and components using Dayco kit KTC1657. This kit comes with the engine balancer unit chain, oil pump sprocket, crankshaft sprocket, primary timing chain, 2 chain guides, and 2 tensioners. Install the crankshaft sprocket and balancer unit timing chain by matching up the marks on each sprocket with those on the chain. Make sure that the crankshaft sprocket is positioned with the timing marks on the block and the sprocket at the top. Torque the sprocket bolts to 48 foot-pounds. Install the balancer unit timing chain tensioner and torque to 62 inch-pounds. Recheck that the chain and sprocket marks align, then pull the pin. Now place the primary chain and match its marks with the ones on each sprocket. Install both the tension guide and chain slack guide and torque the guide bolts to 12 foot-pounds. Then install the chain tensioner and torque its bolts to 62 inch-pounds. Verify timing marks are aligned before removing the stopper pin. Make sure it fully releases. Then replace the drive spacer. Prep the front cover with liquid gasket, applying a continuous bead around the perimeter as shown. Plus, add sealant in the 5 designated bolt holes at the top. Replace your seals and then put the front cover on within 5 minutes of applying the liquid gasket. Tighten the cover bolts in the proper sequence. Bolts 6, 10, and 12 should be torqued to 36 foot-pounds, and the remaining bolts to 9 foot-pounds. Apply liquid gasket to the valve timing control cover and then install and tighten its bolts to 9 foot-pounds in numerical order. Finally, install the harmonic balancer and align it with the crankshaft key. Then tighten its bolt to 31 foot-pounds. Turn the bolt an additional 60 degrees. Then install the remaining components in the opposite order they were removed in. For more tips and information, visit the Dayco Tech Hub online.